The Union of Democratic Mine Workers was formed in 1985, when 31,000 Nottinghamshire miners broke away from the NUM. They were objecting to Arthur Scargill's demand that they strike without having a vote. 8 years later, when Michael Heseltine announced his intention of mass pit closures, the Nottinghamshire men might have expected favoured treatment from the government. In fact, in the year this series was filmed, 75% of their members were made redundant. This series looks at the UDM facing the death of their industry and the consequences for the miners and their families.
It was blackmail. It's closed.
How long do you think the pit's got then? I mean, they say it's got care and maintenance and whatever.
Sure. It's closed. That's what it means. It's closed.
We were given midnight tonight. If we didn't accept what they said, then people who want transfer had no chance of getting a transfer. And redundancy would be affected. Yeah.
We're talking thousands of pounds out of your pocket.
Blackmailed us into deciding your future. That's it. It's totally outrageous. British Court, they've obviously used that now and using the blackmail tactics to people like Bevercoats and to Clipston, that you've got a date to agree to close the pits and then we will give you the additional benefits. Now that's complete blackmail. These pits are being shut by stealth, so it's a sickening day for everybody, and particularly Clipston community.
So how many men you got left then now, Alan?
About 500.
Actually still at your place?
Yeah, but they'll be processed this week and next week, and that'll be it.
No, you're stopping on, Alan?
You're not stopping on? Oh, like Clipston? I don't know, yeah. So it depends what goes on.
Yeah, and you applied for transfer then, huh?
There were men queuing up out there. In the conference room, there were 4 blokes sat behind desks. And blokes were just queuing up there, and it was degrading. Yeah. And they just walked up, what do you want? Do you want to transfer, you want redundancy? Well, what about, do you want to transfer, you want redundancy? Well, I'll have the redundancy. Right.
No, it's all right.
Well, did you?
I've been down job shop. We're down job shop, it's all right down there. There's more blokes down there job shop.
No job, but company's all right.
My bet all right. You know Eddie? Big Eddie?
Yeah.
He was telling us the one we went to look at the other day. And he says, come here, is this right, this job here? Chicken catcher. He says, I've got a better one than that. Maggot breeder.
It feels very sad on the last day. After all this time.
How many years?
26 and a half now. They'll regret it. In years to come, they'll regret this. Probably not in our lifetime, but they'll regret it. It's not over yet. We're not finished yet. There's also prospects, somebody buying it. Well, if it comes good at the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, the tallest headstocks in Britain now. There's one council who wants to make them a heritage. It just shows you how many's at work.
Everybody in this room's getting to go at their pit. And they've had some right arguments over redundancies and job cutting and whether that job should go and whether he should coal on Sundays and whether he should develop and go all these ad hoc contracts and everything for British Coal to sit back, for Death Wind Up, Neil Clark to sit there and all the rest of them, and they've done nothing. Right. It don't matter what we do at any pit, Neil, now, to get it cost effective, we don't stand a chance. They've no intentions of selling coal, they've no intentions of coming here to Fate's music, and they've no intentions of doing no.
Don't blame all this onto British Coal, because we were led to believe at one time at day that we were going to be looked after by a certain government that's in power. And I've been in talk. Well, it has been said, and it's been said to me since I've been national president. Don't you worry about it. We're going to look after your union. We're going to be loyal to them that were loyal to us. And it's never happened. There's no intention. And as far as I've always stood up and says, I think we're wrong supporting Tory government. We shouldn't support the Tory government. They're bad for us. I've stood up and says we ought to be supporting Labour. But I went and met Labour Party last week, and they're saying, for Christ's sake, we want it settling. We want it out at road, in readiness for us becoming a government, because we don't want the problems on it. Now, that's their attitude. They're not going to stand up and say to you, come the election, we're going to renationalise it if it is privatised. We're going to get you new markets for coal, because the fact is that they're not going to do. They want it out of the road, put to bed, before they get into power. The governments of this country, and I'm talking about a new government if that comes in, don't want a viable coal industry. They've decided enough's enough and they want to get shut on it. And it's as simple as that. Now we've got to keep fighting, we've got to keep the battalions marching if we have to do. We've got to keep the pressure on people down in Parliament to make sure that we do retain our industry. But there's no doubt about it, there's going to be a damn sight more pain and suffering before we get to end all this.
Faxing through plans and what they intend doing with Rufford.
They're faxing them through to you now? So we'll get it from here then to go back to pit?
They'll fax one through to Rufford, I know. But like I said, we can just have a look at it before Mick gets in to discuss it with workforce.
When they open, are they going for weekend or are they going for Monday?
As soon as possible, possibly over the weekend. Workforce in for a notice up saying the plans for 1993 and open 94.
Let's hope it's good. Good news. We'll just have to wait and see.
But to cost it men what his intentions are and what British Coal's intentions are for Rufford to survive.
As soon as that Asbury comes on next year, Ansley's done. So Ansley's only got 2 years. There was one plan to take Ansley's place. I reckon they'll take one of these big 4 and all, Claude. Not ill. They will, Will. Wake up to it, mate.
Well, you've got to face reality now.
You
have no intention of helping none on you.
You're on your big 4 when this Asbury bill come on. Handley Bending will go, and one of your big ones will go away.
And it's helping sons.
And it's happened.
He's got that down. As Grand Secretary Allison used to help sons.
Don't rain. Oh, been admitted.
No, that won't mean.
Oh, we're looking for you to say something there, mate. Tell them about Allerton's food chip.
That's a good joke.
Here's our mate, look.
Morning, mate.
Eating his apple, look.
But you do small in that ownership. We've got them small about.
We've got plenty to smile about, Mel.
Why?
Plenty. Because we're happy
We've
talking
seen you.
chappies. We've seen you. That's right.
They come out with a couple of options. British Coal are this morning. They're going to fax them through, and we'll put a notice up if we intend a meeting over the weekend.
Well, they're saying to you in this letter, it'll be very clear by end of year what pits have survived market testing, and it looks as though yours not going to be one. That's what they're saying to you.
So we can either fight it on consider the review procedure, or accept the plans what they want. 214s coal it out and their old men gone out, and get transfers. But there's no guaranteed transfers.
There's no way that we're going to stand up in a meeting, myself or you, making men shooting questions at you and saying, well, we don't know.
Most answers I can give them. I mean, there'll be somebody that'll say that wants redundancy, but wants to walk out and blame everybody else. And he'll say, well, if we take that option of taking them through a cholera review procedure, what's our guarantees after the end of December? My answer will be none. But if you go into a battle, don't expect not to get a bloody nose. If you want to be, if you want redundancy, don't start using them arguments. The only people I want to be using them arguments are them that genuinely want to stop and fight for the pit, not them that's using it as an excuse. That's the, and I shall say that to whoever it is.
They haven't had none of that. They've had nobody to tell them that. That's what men should be told. Regarding all men who's staying behind, want telling that we're looking after them.
They come into your office yesterday. I wish there were another 3,000 of them. When they said they want to scrap redundancy terms and let us fight for the pits. Now that's what we. That were a comment I thought. Well,
Big Bill.
That youngish youth can be about 30 odd. No, you weren't in it, were you? And I thought, well, all years I've had these problems with pit closures. That's the first time someone has really stood up and made a positive comment without pressure being on him. Let me know as soon as you're ready. Preferably sometime today. And because you might read it a bit different to me, and it might be different to you.
So you're in a no-win situation, are you? They've got you a bit short and garish.
Yeah, lads, they're all yours. Get out of the way of them now.
Paul Bissett, yeah.
Double T, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We decided to have a ballot.
Yeah.
On the 4 options, the 3 what British Coal's offered us. We've also added a 4th to go through the cholera review procedure. It was a heated meeting. What's you said, mate?
You're angry, are you, that the management didn't come to the meeting?
I'm very angry it's going to a ballot. Well, it's what the men wanted. I can't go against what the men wanted. That's why I call this meeting today.
Are you an official of the union, can I ask, or are you just...
No, I'm just one at Surface Workers in UDM. So we've all got our crosses to bear and I'm at UDM.
Situation which British Coal wanted to place us in, well, it's blackmail to get the pit closed for men to accept £10,000 and have that worry over the heads whether they're going to get it or not. And you know full well, money overrules everything. If you've got a chance of getting some money, you're going to take it.
So what will happen with the vote then? Do you think they will win, British Coal?
End of the day, we'll win, we'll stick together and we'll fight them, and we'll fight them till end.
There's an option going to be on that ballot paper which will continue Rufford in production. They'll have no excuses because that'll be on the ballot paper. But they know I can't guarantee redundancy terms. Yeah. So in fairness, everything's really against Rufford Colliery.
That's great, Nick.
All right.
Thanks for your help, mate.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, John.
Here with you, sugar, you?
Yeah. Come in, oh.
Look, we can get ourselves up if you want, yeah.
That's a good garden. Come and have a look at this bugger. This will keep me busy.
We want to stay, but we think it's wrong, the policy of them not letting others go. If they've got possibility of jobs outside, so let them go.
Well, it is without this.
In an uncertain future, Union leaders saying British Coal
men are wanting to go, but they're reluctant to let them go.
Easier for the corporation to eventually
and this is what led up to the vote.
I think there's a lot of keep from here.
21 pits have been closed, but the consequences for mining communities have been incalculable.
The full cost calculation
get
can't
closed
yet
and
be
all.
worked out. It depends crucially on the new round of pit closures after privatisation. It also depends on whether the price of electricity really does come down in the longer term. Stephen Evans, BBC News in Yorkshire.
It makes you wonder where they're going to get a market from. If you go private, who's going to buy it? What do you think to it, Paul?
I think they're going to go for kill now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mr Stevens, I've had a lady on from Rufford Colliery who's very, very upset. She's heard on the news this afternoon that Rufford are closing at Clipston. And
At
she's,
what?
sorry, at Rufford. And that she's very upset in that she's thinking of topping herself and killing her children and her husband's leaving her and all of this. But I thought I ought to warn you because she's going to phone you back. I didn't think you would be back until the morning.
Right.
Okay, she wouldn't give me a name or a number.
Is her husband working at Rufford?
Her husband's working at Rufford, but the only thing that concerned me was she was talking about shooting you and Neil Greatrex and Roy Link and all that as well. And
good.
called you several horrible names, I'm afraid. I tried to defend you and calm her down as much as I could.
She's not in our union then?
Well, husband is, yes, and she said we should have all listened to Arthur Scargill, and if we had, there wouldn't be this problem. And
No, well.
I said to her, you don't think it's British Coal in the government then? And she said no. But I tried to calm her down with her saying about the children. That concerned us a little bit. You know, whether we should have chased it up if she did do something stupid. But as I say, she wouldn't give us a name or a number anyway, so there's not really much we can do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, love.
Thank you. Oh, your other thing about Mr. Prendergast isn't in.
I'll speak to him.
Yeah, he's not in, he's at home if you need him. Okay, thank you.
I hope the men realise it's an important ballot that this could decide the future of Rufford. British Coal's no intention of keeping it open after the end of December. But I'm afraid that the men's got to stand up and face it, that we want to keep it open. I told the colliery manager yesterday when we met him, there's no way we'll ever trust British Coal again. Ah, this is a golden mile once again. I wish we had a fiver every time I come down here.
Yeah, I think we're about to 10, won't we?
They'll be here, don't they, someone of them?
What's you saying over there with these, you know, to it?
Oh yeah, you'll dive in here with these. You've got your keys, haven't you? I'll go and clock on.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back out. We'll get kettle on. That's one cook west there. Grand job.
Mick Stevens says if it's an NUM man, he's got to state he's an NUM man and you've got to write his check number down. Okay?
So we've got everybody on here.
Everybody's on there who's UDM.
Any man who comes can vote.
Come on, lads, vote option 4, please.
Vote number 4.
I don't work for a bit, I'm contracted up. Okay. Come on, lads, vote option 4.
Good morning.
Morning.
Right?
Are you voting this morning?
Yeah.
You're going to go for option 4?
To keep it open, though.
Good luck. Brilliant.
Vote option 4, please.
No, I'm not playing. Do it, come on. You're really good on camera. Spell it right, please.
Morning. You voting this morning? Option 4? Think about it if not. Yeah.
Let British Coal do his vote.
Hello? Yeah. I'm honestly not sure. There's two options. There's one heavily in favour of British Coal, which are giving all the incentives to the men to finish the coal, to just work this existing coal face, which will finish at the end of the year, before the redundancy terms finish. And then there's the option what I've personally put there, which would oppose any attempts to close Rufford Colliery early. So it'll be a battle between the two. It's difficult because we've got a younger age group now. I mean, before you could talk about the 37,000 plus perhaps 3,000 or 4,000 on top of that, but that was men that had got 30 years service. We've got young lads in the industry now. They've got nothing like that. It's £900 per year plus £10,000 dependent on their age, or £5,000 if they're under a certain age. You can perhaps talk 15 to 20,000. Oh. Well, it depends whether there's a redundancy scheme. If there isn't one, then it's the state scheme next year. Peanuts. £3,000–4,000. Okay? Bye. Right, must go.
That's it, mate.
Oh, I don't think so, no. Basically,
I thought you weren't bothered.
I thought you weren't bothered. I'm not bothered.
Here you go. Please. You've been saying 800, it's actually closer to 700. Yeah, not 800, 700.
Just change the battery.
Mr. Stevens, is your membership about 450?
What?
Yeah.
Rufford?
Yeah, just one, please, Kathy.
Yeah, you'd be about right with that, yeah.
Right, okay, thanks. Sorry, Kathy.
85%, 90% of it.
I mean, obviously the first thing is latest use of ballots.
Yeah, and you understand, I think you may have been told, I can't give you any categorical guidance on that. All I know is it's been a 90% or more turnout so far.
Okay, stand by, folks. Okay.
Here at Rufford Colliery, the result of the ballot on whether the pit stays open is expected within the next few minutes. 700 jobs are at stake here. Tom Hill reports on a day when the future of the pit was left in the hands of its miners.
Okay, we're on the VT, so set up for 1+2 then now.
puff around. Do you understand why sometimes it's there?
Take your own few markers.
Yeah, off air. Yeah.
Right.
How's it gone? Your face don't look very good. Hey?
Option 1.
Yeah, how big?
20 votes.
Bloody hell, it is close. 226 to 206. Well, it's not good news.
Is it not?
It's been close as you've explained it.
I was right saying that.
Yeah, we are saying that. Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
226 have voted for option 1 and 206 have voted for option 4.
Right. Okay.
And 4 actually voted for the other 2 options. So that wouldn't have made a difference. So that goes to show you these people from NUM who said that they weren't going to vote could have turned that.
Yeah. I think they've been conned and sold down the road, 100%.
Personally, I think in my mind, and I mean I've said this for a long, long while, I think the government will still go ahead, well, government, British Coal, will still go ahead and shut them 31 pits. And I still honestly believe before next April, Calverton will go under. And either Bilsthorpe or Annesley. And I think now Bilsthorpe's coming on stream, and if they're going to be producing 60 and 70,000 tonne a week, we'll go under.
There's very few pits in country done better than Annesley just recently.
Recently, yeah.
If we don't extend them redundancy terms, we'll probably be shut for Christmas.
Well, I've given you my own personal view on that. I think that there's no way on earth they're going to finish the redundancy scheme. I can't bloody get. I'd love to be in a position to come to you today and say, look, I've got a guarantee it's going to be extended.
Yeah, when would you find out though?
Well, I think
Man's still being forced out to industry.
I think I'll find out the same day that you'll find out, which will probably be the day before it's due to finish. Now, if we're not careful, we're going to end up with a stupid situation where we're saying to our own people, let's take redundancy because redundancy scheme's going to finish, and you shut all the bloody pits then. Because I don't care what anybody says, you can go to Thorsby, you can go to Howarth, you can go to Ollerton and Welbeck, put the same argument up there and say to them lads, you've got a choice, if you want redundancy before December, you can go. And every bloody pit in Britain is shut. I've tried numerous times to get the message across to people. They might be offering you 26, 27,000 quid now, because to be fair, that's about the maximum most people would get now. There's individuals that would get more than that. But most people's maximum would be about 27,000 quid because of the ages. You can't get through to people that that's only a year's wages. On normal earnings nowadays, for most people, that's about a year, certainly a year and a half at most as wages. But they see it as a lump sum in the hand that they're never going to get. And it's the uncertainty that's going right throughout the country, not just in mining as well, but mining in particular, but every other bloody industry's got the same problem. And they say, well, I'm going to get out while I can. Everybody seems to think that they can go out and set themselves up in a job as a fitter or electrician, car mending or window cleaning, but you get to the bloody saturation point, don't you? And it's very, very difficult. The demoralisation that's took place, first of all, by British Coal, secondly by government, because they've played a bloody fantastic role in this. Announcing in October that he wants to make all these closures, and then dragging the bloody thing on 6 months before he finally comes out with a white paper that said exactly the same thing as Foster's did. But it got it instilled in everybody's minds then, with that 6 months period, well, we're going to go anyway, so we might as well get best deal we can, get money out on it and go.
And that's what'll happen here.
Could.
Well, it depends.
Exactly what happened this
That's
year.
what happened here, David. If the uncertainty of these redundancy payments is still carried on towards Christmas,
That'll happen.
A bird in the hand is better than none at all. And they'll shut it.
When all's said and done, you said it's a year's
You
wages.
said yourself, you can't
It's a
guarantee
year's
it.
wages you're not working for.
But
No.
all I'm saying is to make people aware, like Neil said,
If
about
you work for that
your
next
1
year.
year's wages or
That's
year and a
already-
half's wages.
that's already-
But
Did you go
David,
job to
you'll have a year's money after that if they do shut the pit.
Yeah,
with
well,
nothing.
but you'll go out, you'll still go out in the same scenario.
But you'll go out with 26 grand. You won't go out with nothing.
If people's got that in their mind, then I'll tell you where I stand, because we're going to an argument in December. Because I ain't prepared to let a vote take place that shuts a pit before British Coal say that they want him to shut it.
It's not stopped the other part.
It has.
Sherwood went like that.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't.
Sherwood
Sherwood.
got a closing date, same as Annesley's got, and the men voted to shut it.
No, they didn't. British Coal said they wanted to shut it.
We know for a fact we've only got 3 years coal.
Well, we don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, but we do roughly.
We
I
know
think
that
we all
what they're
know
telling
that.
us is we've got 3 years coal. I know, and these two know, that there's 40 bloody years at Upton.
We got more than that. in
Now,
Hillsborough.
whether people's prepared to go, well, it's coal. And my argument's always been, well, there's an ounce of coal underground, it should be bloody mine.
We know in 3 years' time that we're going to be out to work. We know it, and you know it.
We're in a predicament.
Which report you look at?
We're in a predicament where people have got jobs at this moment in time, and that's more important at this moment in time than any bloody thing. And that's where I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to fight to retain as many bloody jobs as I can.
See you then, Doc. Ta-da. Things going quite well at the moment. As you can see, I've got a new job. Well, I'll say I call it a new job. The wages aren't very good, but at least it's a job to start with anyway.
What is it?
I'm a security officer for Sharrock Guards. I'm working at Strelly in Nottingham, Strelly Superstore.
And the pay?
No, it's not very good at all. I don't want to really tell you how much it is, really.
Why, is it too much?
No, it's not a lot. A lot of people won't work for what I'm working for, actually. I didn't think I'd settle, but they're very nice people, and I think that's the only reason I've actually settled in as well as I am.
But you look at it realistically, Graham, bad planning is short of it. When Malta here in his heyday, he's gone for quickest coal, isn't it? And I'll never alter. I'll never alter.
It is management to blame.
Bad planning, they've gone for cheapest coal first, left us all hard stuff, thousands of yards away, and Oakgate's collapsing under weight, aren't they? What do you reckon to as a deputy then? What's your opinion? Come on. Don't sit there smiling.
I'm saying nothing.
Why? I'm saying nothing. Why?
It don't matter now, Graham. You tell them what you want.
Graham, we shan't say no to bet you going down and going to sleep with us on 5.
When was that? I was in control.
We sat there like that, they said they just announced 31 pits, Graham. He goes, I don't know crossword is in this one.
What are you going to do as a deputy then, as you finish?
I'm going to become one of these house husbands.
Join the party.
House husband. And you know what's worse? If you've got problems done with money, you got bad on, ain't you? And what's the first thing wife says? Eh?
Kettle on.
No. Get off your bloody arse and go and get some more, ain't it? But where can you go? It's the same money as what we're getting now.
Well, you
chance of getting a decent job now.
You go for these driving jobs, what are they? £2, £3 an hour. You go on security, you can go on security firms, 12-hour shifts, £2 odd an hour. No good, is it?
What now, isn't it? No contracts.
Cheap labour.
Sack you when they want. Tell you to come to work when they want.
That's it.
Tell you to go home when they want.
That's it.
The Tory way.
Yeah.
And it'll get worse.
That's why they've got advertising pits, isn't it, to get rid of unions and so they can have you under one thumb and handle you.
I reckon we'll end up with another war. Start again. It's going back to 40s, isn't it? Recession, everybody's out of a job, everything's getting repossessed. You've got to draw a line somewhere along it. Where ain't you?
War in other countries, a war with...
There's the send. Man, not it. Because nobody's going to have no money to pay out off, and you're going to go out and they're going to be pinching even more, aren't they? And everything.
Well, there's no to look forward to for his own kids as they're growing up. Of the next 5, 10 years, where this country's in such a mess, there's nothing at all out there, is there, for kids to look forward to.
Are you working hard?
Yeah, as always. Had a good day.
Yeah, not too bad.
You've been busy.
Yeah?
Got a cup of tea?
Oh, I better make you one, ain't I?
Yeah, well, I'll make you one.